Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the card used by Sho, aka Cyrus Truesdale, in the Yu-Gi-Oh GX manga, Shuttleroid, Shuttleroid, Shuttleroid. If you say its name 3 times, it will get printed in the TCG. Nah, I'm just kidding, that card's never coming to the TCG. Shuttleroid was released in the OCG in December of 2007, and we are quickly approaching the 15-year anniversary from when this card made its debut in Premium Pack 11 over in the OCG. And this card has garnered a lot of attention from people in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, very similarly to how Elemental Hero Air Neos has, in the sense that it has bizarrely seemingly been forgotten about by Konami, maybe intentionally, maybe unintentionally. But of course, here on this channel, I like to assume everything is kind of a crazy, harmless conspiracy, and so we are going to go over some rumors and some facts about Shuttleroid and why it has never been printed in the TCG and why it has never been reprinted in the OCG since December 2007. So Shuttleroid is a roid monster that was used by Cyrus in Chapter 9 in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX manga. This is the only time the card has ever been summoned in the GX manga. It was never summoned in the GX anime, and just for date purposes, this card did make its debut and only animated or manga appearance in 2006. And remember, it was printed in the OCG 1 year later in 2007. However, the card Shuttleroid is the only roid card that has never been printed in the TCG, and it's one of the few roid monsters that has never been reprinted in the OCG, leading to many rumors and discussions in various forums as to what is going on with Shuttleroid. What is the truth behind this roid monster? The effect is nothing crazy, right? A crazy effect might be reason why the TCG wouldn't want to import the card into the game, but the effect is nothing crazy. When this card is targeted for an attack, you can banish this card. During your next standby phase, special summon this card banished by this effect. If summoned this way, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Nothing wild, and on top of that, I don't believe roids during the GX era were ever a top tier or meta deck. At least it's nothing that I've ever heard about. I've heard about Infernities being very good during the 5Ds era, Pepe being very good during the Arc 5 era, Salaman great during Vrains. You know, there have been anime-related decks that have been meta before in the OCG and TCG, but I've never once heard about roids being super good in the actual game. And so you could kind of understand if roids were a really dominant and troublesome deck in 2007-2008, why the TCG maybe wouldn't want to import another broken card into the game, but that's really obviously not the case here, because number one, this card is not broken in any way, the effect is just pretty meh, and number two, roids were not a problematic deck in the card game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So it has nothing to do with that. To add on to the mystery shrouding this card, Shuttleroid, at least to my knowledge, I did the research. Now, I didn't go through every single video game, so if I'm wrong about this, you can let me know. But from the research that I've conducted over the past several weeks, I do not believe this card has ever appeared in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game, which is very interesting and, to me, very telling as to the reason why Shuttleroid has been forgotten about, quote-unquote, by Konami. In video games that have had Yu-Gi-Oh! Exclusive OCG cards before, Shuttleroid has been excluded from every single video game. Even Elemental Hero Air Neos hasn't gotten that sort of treatment. I mean, Air Neos was just in Link Evolution not too long ago. Air Neos is not in Master Duel, but hey, at least it's been in video games, unlike Shuttleroid. Before I go over, in my opinion, what is the probably most compelling argument as to why Shuttleroid is no longer really a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh!, I want to go over a very funny rumor that I've seen on a lot of forums, and that is the rumor that Shuttleroid represents a male body part, and for that reason, Konami does not want to ever show the card again or reprint the card or have the card appear in any video game. I've looked at this card quite a bit, and I do not see it at all. I mean, I can kind of see where people are coming from, but To me, that is a massive stretch, and I think there are many other very suggestive cards in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I just can't buy into that theory at all. I think that's a very fringe, funny conspiracy theory that Shuttleroid is so R-rated, if you will, that they'll just never show off this card again, and it's just been locked away in the Konami lockbox. I can kind of see where people are coming from a little bit, but only because it was pointed out to me and because I was looking for it. If that theory was never brought up in forums, I would have never, in a million times looking at this card, associated it with a male body part. And had that been the reason why I believed this card has been just tossed to the side by Konami. So I did want to address that theory. But in my opinion, much like Air Neos, I believe there is a legality issue surrounding Shuttleroid. I did a little bit more research, and apparently Shuttleroid is supposed to be based off of the Space Shuttle Atlantis, which is a copyrighted aircraft by NASA. I can definitely see the resemblance between Shuttleroid and the Space Shuttle Atlantis, and in the copyright that NASA has for the Space Shuttle Atlantis, it does forbid any other products from using the likelihood or representing the Space Shuttle in any way. So what I believe happened is NASA sent Konami maybe a little bit of a cease and desist and said, hey, you cannot use this card anymore. This card artwork is clearly based off the likeness of the Space Shuttle Atlantis, and for that reason, you cannot use this card. And so Konami, rather than, making a big deal out of it, since it is a pretty irrelevant roid card and a pretty irrelevant archetype, if I'm going to be honest, that only appeared once in their GX manga, they made the decision to accept that cease and desist and just never use Shuttleroid again. And that is the reason that Shuttleroid has never been reprinted in 15 years. It's the reason Shuttleroid is the only roid monster to never be printed in the TCG. And it's the reason that Shuttleroid has not been in any Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games, because as of 2007, 2008, Konami no longer owns the rights to Shuttleroid, and because it was such an inconsequential card, Konami really never fought that ruling. They never fought that letter from NASA, or that cease and desist, if you will, the copyright infringement, and they just said, all right, it is what it is. And that, to me, is the most logical and likely explanation as to why Shuttleroid has never been printed in the TCG and never been reprinted in the OCG and is stored deep away in the Konami lockbox and is a card that I believe we will never see referenced ever again. I think it's much like Air Neos. The Air Neos one, I don't really know what it's for. It's got to be for, again, some sort of artwork infringement that no one has really been able to find at this point. This one makes a lot more sense to me. Is it NASA specifically? Maybe not, but I definitely think it's a legality issue that has prevented Shuttleroid from coming to the TCG and being reprinted in the OCG. But let me know what you guys think of this down below. As I said in the Air Neos video, Konami has already gotten in trouble before using art that has been copyrighted, and they've had to change art in the past. So this is nothing new for Konami. There is not a big trail, but there is a small trail that you can find of them using copyrighted work and copyrighted references in order to create the designs on their Yu-Gi-Oh cards, especially in the early 2000s, especially in like 2003 to 2009, it seemed to happen way more than it has in the past 10 years or so. So it's right in that era of when Konami had some of those issues, and I think this is most certainly a legality issue, and Konami just never wanted to bother with this card again. But let me know your thoughts, and if you're interested in my thoughts on Air Neos, I'll have that linked video down below as well. Thank you so much for watching. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Panther J, Blue Maiden 28, and Jarrett Buller, and to my Diamond tier patrons, Jesse Wood and Latrell Smith, and to my Egyptian God tier patrons, Ccapacappuuu and Syn Cloud. To everyone who supports me on Patreon, and to everyone who is a YouTube channel member, thank you so much. The extra support means the world to me, and it allows me to make videos on a semi-daily basis, and I am forever indebted to you guys. Seriously, thank you so much. And definitely check out my channel membership feature and my Patreon for some extra channel perks. And thank you guys all so much for watching. Please leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Be sure to check out my channel for some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime content, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.